What's up guys, I am BlackOpsAmazing, welcome back to another video. Today we have another cipher, one of the many we have within the game. So far on my channel, I have covered loads of different ones to do with the test subjects and other things. So if you are interested, make sure you check that out. But if you do go on to enjoy the video, if you could drop me a like rating, that'd be appreciated. If not, it's totally fine, I understand. You guys are awesome. I love you so much. Let's get into it. This cipher can be found within the fireplace within the church area. If you come over to here, this again has already been decoded by the awesome guys over on Reddit. But when you crack this cipher, this is what it says. Mission log entry 45. Remember last time we heard 44. I'm over the site looking down through the open door. I can see a weird distortion below me like a localized aurora borealis. I would normally cancel the operation, but we don't have time. Luckily, I have taken experimental weaponry version 3 that no one has seen before from my previous mission. Never say never, Peter. So it's clear that this cipher, this message was written by Peter. He says he is looking down through the open door. I can see weird distortion below me like a localized aurora borealis. The first time we saw or heard about Peter was all the way back in Shino Numa. In fact, we can actually see Peter, his name is Peter McCain, in that map hanging. We've never really gotten too much information about him, but we do have a biography. Peter McCain was an OSS spy sent to infiltrate Group 935. He originally worked undercover as a research assistant somewhere in Munich, but later on was transferred to Verrückt, which was another Group 935 control facility. When Peter's handler, or boss I guess you could say, suspected his identity had been compromised, a Marine recon team led by Tank Dempsey was sent to Verrückt to rescue him. Peter McCain had escaped or been evacuated before their arrival though, and Dempsey, the only known survivor of the recon team in Verrückt, was captured by Group 935 and experimented on. Dempsey, we know, is a test subject of Richthofen. He was taken from Verrückt over to Richthofen, where he then became his test subject. Dempsey's mission originally was to go to Verrückt and rescue Peter McCain, but we now see Peter's body hanging in the map Shino Numa. He says he is looking over the Group 935 site down through the open door. He can see a weird distortion, which we know will be probably the light emitting off our meteorite full of element 115. This was the first time, or one of the first times, we actually saw element 115 in Shino Numa. We had this massive meteor you can see on screen now. We can assume the localized aurora borealis that he's talking about is the light emitting off the orange glowing 115 meteorite we can see in that map. But he then goes on to say he would normally cancel the operation, but we don't have time. We know Peter, as stated in his biography, went over to Shino Numa to infiltrate it because it was a Group 935 research facility. We know Group 935 were also helping the Nazis, along with doing experiments on 115, so it's quite obvious that an OSS spy, being Peter McCain, would be sent there to infiltrate Group 935, but clearly Peter died. Now the way he died, if you take a look at his body in Shino Numa, he is clearly hanging. If you actually go into no clip mode in World at War, you can see that Peter McCain does have a backpack on his back, and there's also a sheet on the roof, which could probably indicate that he came in from the sky or an aeroplane and parachuted into the map. But then again, the rope around his neck and the way he's tied to it doesn't exactly look like it belongs to a parachute. So how exactly Peter died, I don't believe we are 100% sure, but it's possible that he was killed by Group 935. You can also see he is missing part of his left arm. So an awesome Easter egg back in World at War for Shino Numa is where you can actually knock his body off. I believe if you knife him enough times or shoot him enough times, your game will actually get restarted, and if you end up knocking him off and you stand over him for long enough, you will end up being killed. So just an awesome thing Treyarch added in there. But the interesting part is, he says he has taken experimental weaponry version 3 that no one has seen from my previous mission. Never say never. Experimental weaponry version 3. We can assume this experimental weaponry belongs to Group 935, the previous site that he has been to. Experimental weaponry we usually refer to our wonder weapons. What comes to my mind straight away is the Mark III, Ray Gun Mark III. What other weapon have we had a version 2 of, let alone a version 3? Remember a tweet from Treyarch not too long ago, especially Jason Blundell. Sorry, Jason, don't butcher me, Jason, I'm sorry. But he said never say never to Mark III weapons, hinting towards the Mark III, the Ray Gun Mark III coming in the future. And Peter McCain says here he took experimental weaponry version 3, which, as I just stated, I believe that Peter McCain to the ray gun Mark III. And I actually do think we will be getting our hands on it in future DLC, maybe DLC 2 or 3, but how, we're not sure. If Peter McCain has this weapon, how are we going to get our hands on it? Or maybe it was mass produced. Maybe there are other versions of it, and this isn't the only one that Peter has. Since we find this cipher in Der Eisendrache, is it possible that the place he went to before Shino Nuna was Der Eisendrache, since this is where we find this cipher? He also says about the Aurora Borealis, which is actually the scientific name for the Northern Lights. Is it possible that maybe a meteorite was falling from the sky at this point in time when this cipher was written by Peter McCain? Is it possible that there was a meteorite full of element 115 falling from the sky, which I believe would create this kind of effect that we see with the Northern Lights? It's kind of strange for them to just mention the Northern Lights randomly, so I do think it is referring to element 115. But let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Did Peter go to Der Eisendrache? How does he have what I believe to be the ray gun Mark III? And also, how are we going to get it? Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. I hope you have all enjoyed. I believe we're going to be seeing a lot more of Peter McCain and also hearing a lot more about him. They've also recently brought up our dead Mexican test subjects as well, which I have done many videos on. If you are interested, make sure you click the links down in the description. But as always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, if you could take a second out of your time and drop me a like rating, that'd be much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already for daily zombies content. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. I love you all, and goodbye.